Hello guys, I'm so excited to be here once more, and for today I'm just trying to respond to much of the feedback I've been getting because I've come to realize that a lot of people ask one particular question almost 100% of the time, and that question is, how long does it take to get this company registered? How long does it take to get the business name registered? How long does it take to get an incorporated trustees? That's your usual NGO, mosque, church registration, association, and all that. What is the time frame? One beautiful thing that the Corporate Affairs Commission has actually done is to put the time frames into perspective. I remember the good old bad days the good old bad days where you would have to line up even to get name search done. You would line up, you would wait on end, like you would have to keep space on the queue. You go back, maybe do other things, come back, nothing is happening. The network was poor, even staff morale, there was so much pressure on CAC staff to get their job done. But we thank God, the new RG, and of course a lot of other factors, including that coming from the influence from the Vice President's office and other persons who are hell-bent on ensuring that Nigeria steps up its ranking in ease of doing business. So one of the beauties of that process has actually made it possible that you can now possibly keep track on the duration of time it will take you to register your company. And what I mean simply is that if, for example, for a name search, if you have a simple name where you don't have any conflict with other names, you are looking at least a period of about 24 hours, you get feedback on your name search. Worst case scenario, maybe we are talking of 48 hours. Then you tidy up on all your documentation, maybe within some few hours. In another 2 to 3 working days, sometimes 4 working days, sometimes even the same day, you can actually get your company registered after the name search process, of course, and you've submitted all your documentation. You're looking at a period of about 1 to 3, 4, 5 working days. And sometimes CAC can just shock you. They will make sure your company comes out like you just hit a submit button, in less than 1 hour you are getting feedback. I've seen that happen time and time again. The major point for this video basically is to just let it be known across the nations of the world that it's actually possible for you to do an incorporation in 24 hours after the name search and the documentation is submitted. CAC is actually that fast. CAC has improved. I'm not trying to PR the Corporate Affairs Commission, but the fact is that when you see something good happening, and especially when you've been part of the old system, when you see that, okay, things are actually changing, especially in terms of pre-incorporation, things are really fast. The Corporate Affairs Commission is doing a great job. I know that they still have some little itches here and there, bottlenecks here and there, but by and large, we have a better system than we used to have in the past about 4 or 5 years ago. Things are actually better, and in that direction I can say Nigeria is actually moving forward. So for those of you that feel that there is no good news out there, trust me, there is good news in certain things that, of course, the Corporate Affairs Commission is actually doing. And I know that they're actually not stopping. They definitely want to do more. So it's just to make it known that for you to have your business name done, after your name search is approved and after you've submitted your documentations, you can be looking at, in fact, sometimes 24 hours. In other cases, maybe between 1 to 3, 4, 5 working days, maximum. Let's say it's such a very bad day. Let's say you are saying 4 or 5 working days, but by and large, on the average, within 1 to 3 working days, you can actually get your documentation approved and all of that with your business name number. Then for the limited liability company, that sometimes you can come up within the same time frame. But by and large, things are actually getting better. For incorporated trustees, yes, I always tell people that, for you to have your registrar general consent to be approved, it sometimes takes a whole lot because there are a whole lot more rules guiding incorporated trustees registration. So when you register an incorporated trustees, the first thing you have to do, of course, is your RG's consent. Once your consent is approved, and of course, there's what we call front loading. You have to front load all the documentation. CAC would look at everything. They'll look at the name. You have 3 name options, opportunities for one RG's consent application. They look at all of that. They look at the trustees details. They look at the objects of your registration. They look at a whole lot of things. Then also in approving the name for an incorporated trustees, for example, a whole lot of factors are considered. Public policy issues, is the name tying up with the objective? That's one of the key things that the Corporate Affairs Commission actually looks into. If they cannot see a nexus between your name and the object that that NGO will be carrying out, then is a problem, and most times it's not cheap. So you find that some persons have actually done ROG's content up to 3, 4, 5 times, especially when they are being heavy about, you know, certain things. Like, I've actually come across somebody who said, God gave me this name. God gave me this name for a church, and 3, 4, 5 times, like CAC consistently disapproving that name. So I'm not trying to say God didn't give the person the name, but what I'm saying is that in the physical plane, there are certain rules that you need to match up on in terms of having your name approved. If you do not abide by those rules, by and large, you stand the chance of having your Registrar General's consent for your Incorporated Trustees registration disapproved time and time and time and time again. So those are some of the things that you cannot necessarily do without. And the final thing I would say is, Nigeria is getting better. I'm actually very hopeful. I'm full of hope. Sometimes situations might be dampening, but I'm full of hope. CAC is giving us hope that things are actually possible, things can work, things can become better, processes can be better. And I feel that for many of you who want to engage in actually incorporating a business or starting up an NGO, starting up a church, registering a mosque, whatever it is that you intend to do, the Corporate Affairs Commission has actually laid down the system, and it's very open, it's very transparent. You can actually get things done faster now, much faster than it ever could have been 3, 4, 5 years ago, you know, before this time. And it's kudos to the RG, of course. I hope this content has been useful to you. Till I come your way next time, please do subscribe to our channel, share this content. If there are things that you want us to talk about, do let us know. We are ever ready. I am ever ready. I'm ever ready to share as much as I can and to ensure that, you know, we make it easier for you to do business, all the things that you're engaged in. We would love to be part of it and to support you along the way.